Hello everyone. Welcome. Okay. Welcome guys. Welcome to today's class. If you can see me, please let me know. If you can hear me, let me know. Let me know so I can start. Okay guys, if you can see me, please let me know. Please, I need confirmation. I need somebody to confirm that you can see me, you can hear me, so that we can start. I just need somebody to confirm. Let me know that you can see me and that you can hear me. Then we are good to go. We are going to start. So once I get a confirmation, you're welcome. Welcome everyone to today's live stream. So from the topic, you can see what we are going to be learning how to do today. We are going to learn how to cut and sew a short knicker or a short pants, female pants. So that's what we are going to learn today. So I want somebody to confirm. Okay, I think somebody just dropped a chat. Let's see. Okay, Joanne, hello. Good evening. I can see you and I can hear you. So, okay, thanks, Joanne, for confirming. So we're good to go. Amara, hi, how are you? I'm good, Amara. You're welcome to today's live stream. Okay, guys, so we're good to go. So we're just going to start now. So if you are just joining us, you're welcome. So I need to readjust my camera. So we're going to be doing it. It's very simple. We'll draft it on the pattern and then we'll transfer to our fabric. So that's what we are going to learn how to do today. Okay guys, so let's just get started. So if you are just joining us, you're welcome. Let me know where you're watching me from. I really like to know where you are watching from. So I'm going to readjust my camera right now so that we can start placing all of our measurements on our pattern. So it's a simple process. I don't know if we should use a freehand for this knicker. We should just use freehand and just draft it. I would want to find that in the comment section. The first person to comment that, then we will continue. If I should use a freehand or I should draft it on the pattern, let me know. So the first person wins the day. The first person that will comment if we're using a pattern or we're using a freehand, let me know. Okay, Mary. Hello, good evening. I can see you and hear you. You're watching from Abeokuta. You're welcome. Okay, guys. So, like I said, we're making a short. So let me know in the comment section before I continue. Do you want us to draft it on the pattern paper and then transfer to the fabric, or we should just go ahead and use our freehand? Okay. Okay. All right. Amara. Okay. Comfy. You said pattern draft. Guys, okay, let's go. Okay, so that's the first person that came up. So, Chinyere, you came late. So let's just do the pattern drafting because I promised that the first one is what I was going to take. So she has said it. Muma has said it. She said we should do the pattern draft and she was the first person that came up. So let's do the pattern draft. It's still the same thing. So let's go. So I'll make it very simple and easy for you guys. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to draft here, I'm putting a line here. So this line is going to serve as my waistline. Let's see. So this line is going to serve as my waistline. This is like a startup line. Okay. So that's the start line. So the next line we're going to add is our hip line. So just like our skirts, when we're drafting our skirts, our hip line is usually 9, 10, depends on how tall you are. So for this now, I'm going to use 2 inches for my band. That's for the waistband. So that 2 inches, I'm going to take it off. So I'll place it like this, okay? And then I'm going to mark my hip line. My hip line, which is 9 inches. Just take watch, Chinyere, just watch. You see, it is simple. So I'm going to mark 9 inches. So this is 9 inches. So is this 9 inches that will serve for... So this is our hip line. So this is our waistline. And then this is our hip line. So the next line we're going to mark is our crotch line, okay? So for the crotch line, that's our flap crotch. So I'm going to show you how to measure your crotch right now. So what you are going to do, you're going to sit on a plain surface. This is just like the easiest and simple way, or simple method rather. So you can see my tool. I'm sitting on this tool right now. So I need to readjust. So I hope you can see. So I'm sitting on it, okay. I think it's better this way. So you can see I'm sitting on a stool. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take it to this point like this from my waist like this. So that is what I will use to know my line, because my neck at the waist is going to be deep. So you can see what I'm going to. So I'm using 11 inches. So that's what I'm going to use for my crotch line. So I'll add 1 inch to it to make it 12. So if you are just joining us, you're welcome. Let me know where you are watching me from, okay? Let me know, and please give this video a thumbs up, like this video, share it also, okay? So we're using 11 inches like I said, so I'll add 1 inch. You saw how I measured it. I'll add 1 inch to it. So my crotch line is going to be 12 inches. So I'm going to add the crotch line right now. So you saw how I measured it. Most times many people come and do like, how did I get it? So you have seen it right now. So that's 12 inches, okay? So this 12 inches now is my crotch line. You saw it, okay? So if you're welcome. If you're just joining us, please just let me know where you're watching me from. So that's the crotch line. So the next line is the full length of our short pants or knicker. So for this, I'm going to be about 19 inches. So I'll add 1 inch to it. I'm going to have 20 inches. So these are all of the lines that I need to make these shorts. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do now, we're going to start adding our measurements. So the measurement that we're going to, as I go along, I'll just be calling them and be inserting them. So the first thing we're going to do now, we'll come to this, our waistline, the side of this waistline, like this. So you can see just the side. So I'm going to come in by 1 inch here. So that 1 inch that I'm coming in is not really any big deal. So I just want to blend it to my hip. I just want to blend it to the hip line like this. That's from the waist like this. Okay, so this table is not straight. So I'm just blending it to the hip line like that. So from that hip line, I'm just going to come, from that hip line now, I'm going to use my straight ruler like this. Just blend to, I hope you can see what I'm doing. So from that hip line now, I'm just going to blend like this, just to give it like a slant, okay? So you can see. So the next thing we are going to do now, we're going to start inserting our measurements right now. So we're going to start inserting our measurement. This live stream is not... So you can drop a message for me, you can drop a comment. If you have any questions, you can ask your questions. So the next thing I'm going to add here now, I'm going to add my waistline, and my waist is 32. So 32 divided by 4, I'm going to have 8 inches. So 8 inches, so I'll add 8 inches, and then I'm going to add 2 inches allowance. 1 inch for my allowance, 1 inch for my dart, okay? So you can see. So on my hip line, I'm going to add my thigh. I'm going to add my hip measurement. So my hip is 40. So I'm going to add my hip 40, and then I'm going to add just 1 inch allowance to it. So you can see what I have. I'm using dotted lines like this, and then on my crotch line, I'm going to add the roundness of the knicker. That's how wide I want it down to be. So that's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to come to this part, and what I have here, I have about 12 inches. So that's how wide is 24 divided by 2. So this measurement divided by 2, and then I'm going to add 1 inch allowance to it. So after doing that, I'm going to connect all of these lines with mine. So you can see I'll connect it like that. So the next thing I'm going to do now, from this point, I'm going to measure down to of my short, that's my knicker. So for this, I want it to be a straight pant. So from here, I'm just going to measure the straight here, and then here I don't want to add anything, any slants to it, so it's just going to be straight. So I'll mark it here. So this is for the front. The next thing is we're going to add the back. So for the back on, is a simple process. For the back on, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add an extra of 2 inches to this. So you can see my 2 inches here. I'll come to this point like this, and then I'll add my 2 inches here. So that 2 inches, I'm just going to mark it like that until I'll float it into the waist part like this. So I'll use my pattern curve like this. And then from this, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to, so once I'm coming down, I'll reduce it a little bit. So I'm not going to use, so I'll have about 1 inch there. So that's for the back pattern. So that's how simple and easy this is. So now we're going to cut this out now. So the next thing now, we're going to transfer this to our fabric. So in transferring to our fabric, so I'm just going to fold my fabric. I'll fold my fabric into 2. And then I'm going to place my pattern. So I'm going to cut out now. So I'm cutting the back first. So I've not slanted the waistline, so I'm going to do that when I finish cutting. So I have the back. So I'm going to cut out the front now. So if you are just joining us, you're welcome. Let me know where you're watching me from. So I'm going to trim out the front. I'm going to trim out the back allowance. And then I'm going to use this to cut out the front right now. Okay, so if you are just joining us, you're welcome. Let me know where you're watching me from. Okay, so now I'm going to work on the both patterns. So I'll just drop my pattern. I'm going to take the front and back. I want to place both of them together. So you can see what we have. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I want to slant my waistline. So my front waistline, I'm going to reduce my front waistline. So I'll come to this point like this. I'm going to mark 1 inch. So that 1 inch now that I mark, you can see what I'm doing. I'm sloping that 1 inch. So this will kind of help me. You know the way we normally slope our waistline for our skirts. After sloping it that way, so the back, I'm going to I'm just trying to trim it, let it be equal, but you can see the way it is. You see the back and the front, you can see the way it is. Okay. All right, good evening, you're welcome. Ogechi, you're welcome. Elizabeth, you're welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, so you can see, so we are done for this. So the next thing, I'm going to show you how to cut a pocket. Even though we might not finish stitching this, but let's just do the important things. So let's cut the pocket. I know most of you want to see how to actually add a pocket. So I'm trying to fold my fabric. I'm just folding it into 4, so I'll cut it out just to make it fast. That's why I'm doing this. Okay. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do now, we're going to add a pocket. So to add a pocket to it, I'm going to come, so it's only the front we're adding pocket to. So let's keep the back. If you notice, I've not added that. So on this part, I'm going to come this way. Okay. So I'm going to come to this side. Okay, I'm not seeing the draft pattern well. Oh, I finished drafting now. Okay, that's Elizabeth. So sorry about that. So I'm going to come to this point now. That's the side of the waist. And then I'm going to mark 1 inch. So this depends on how wide you want your pocket to be. So from this point, I'm going to come in by 1 inch. And then you see how deep I want my pocket to be. So I'm going to use about 7 inches. 7 inches is okay. And then that 7 inches, I'm going to mark it like this. So this, I'm just trying to create a pocket for my short knicker. And then I'm going to cut this out like this. So I've cut it out. So for the front, I'm not going to add any dart on the front. So my dart, I'll add it to the back. So it's actually optional. So you can add to the front, but I don't want to. Most times I usually don't add that to the front of my trousers. So you can see the back. So I'm folding the back into 2. I'm going to put a notch here. So this notch is where I'm going to add my dart for the back. So after cutting out the pockets, the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to, this fabric that I cut out, this is what we are going to use to sew this pocket. So I'm going to place it like this for us to see how it's going to look like. Okay, but most times I really don't like cutting though, but since I'm teaching, let me just cut it. So you see I placed it under. So the next thing, you are going to determine how long and deep you want your pocket to be. So for this, we're going to be using about 9 inches. So I'm going to trim it. And then the wideness also. So the wideness, we're going to use about 8 inches wideness. So the next thing, just watch what I'm doing. So I'm just trying to trim to the measurement. You see my fabric. I'm going to place it like this, and then I'm going to curve this part. So you see I curve this. So this part, most times I usually don't like cutting it. I prefer when I'm stitching, I'll stitch it and then mark it out. Okay, so I'll not cut it out. So the next thing we're going to do now, we're going to start stitching. So we're going to start stitching. So I'm going to readjust my camera, and then we're going to stitch. So I need to take out this table. And then bring this closer. See the way I'm sweating. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to stitch our pocket first to make it easier for us. Okay, cheap lesson. You said freehand. We have already started the pattern drafting. So maybe next time we'll do freehand. I think we're going to have to be doing quiz on all of this, so that majority will be winning the day. Okay, so I'm going to keep this on the side. So let's sew the pocket. Let me show you how to sew the pocket. It's a very simple process. So you see, I've opened this up, and then I'm going to take one piece of this now. So you see how I'm placing it? You see? So I'm going to stitch here now. I'm going to stitch here. I hope you can see what I'm doing. So I want to sew the pocket. So after stitching, I'll cut this out. So that was why you see I did not cut it. So it's easier for me to do this way. So I'll cut it out like this. I'm just trying to trim it, let it be straight. And then I'm going to open this up. So you can see, so this is after stitching, you turn it in like this. So because the fabric I'm using is strong, so it is easier for me. So I'm just trying to manage. My pressing iron is actually not here. I'm going to call for it soon. So you can see, you see what we have. So it is inside. So the next thing now, I'm going to take this and then I'm going to bring this back. You see? So just bring it back to this exact same point like this. Exact same point like this. And then we're going to stitch out, flip it open for you to see. So you can see how it is on the outside. You see how it is. a very simple process, but you just need to like open your eyes very well, and calculate it very well for you to be able to do it. It's a little bit tricky though. So the next thing now, I'm going to take the center part of this point, and then I'm going to stitch. I want to stitch it from the inside, so I'll turn this back, and then I'm going to stitch. If you want to hem your trouser or nipper, you can decide to just stitch it on the right side. That's if you want to use overlock. That's if you want to weave it. That's what I meant to say. Okay. So I'll turn it in. This can be confusing, but you just need to open your eyes very well, and take a good look at it. So you can see our pockets. Our pockets have added. We have added our pockets. See. Good evening, Ngozi. You're welcome. Okay, so I'm going to do the second one so we can proceed. So in doing the second one, I need to be careful so I don't do the same. I'm just trying to calculate it very well so I don't make a mistake. I should have marked my fabric. I did not mark it. If you are just, I need to check this fabric. I'm not going to make a mistake. Just so I'm doing the right thing. So this is the second one. So I'm just trying to flip it, and yet I think I've done the same thing. You guys know that I made a mistake right now. So I need to remove it. So if you're just joining us, you're welcome. Let me know where you're watching me from. So I'm trying to fix the pocket on my trousers, on my knicker. That's what I'm trying to do. So after stitching it, I'm trying to flip it open and check that I've done the right thing. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Okay, yes, now I think I've gotten it, so you can see. So I need to get my pressing iron. Just a minute. Okay, so I'm back from getting my pressing iron. So let me try and iron this. So I'm just managing to iron. This is actually not my ironing table. Okay. So the next thing now, I'm going to stitch the second one. So you can see water all over my table from my pressing iron. So just the way I did the first one, I'm going to stitch this. So I'm going to stitch this on the right side, just like I explained, in case you want to weave your, you can actually do this. Okay. So now the next thing we're going to do now, we're going to join both of them together. You see, I hope you can see. Let me adjust it properly so you can see both of them. So you take the crouch like this, and then I'm going to place both of them together like this, the two fronts. Before then, this waistline, I'm going to secure it. I want it like this, so I'm going to secure it. That's pocket. So I'll secure it down, and then for the same thing, I'll do the same thing for this one also. So I'll secure them down. So the next thing, I'm going to take both of them like this, and then I'm going to join them together on the crotch line like this. Please, oh, you people should let me know if there's something you cannot see properly. So I'll place both of them together like this now. Okay. So this is you can see the pockets looking good and nice. So I'm going to join on my crotch line like this. Okay, so after joining, I'm going to open it up for you to see. So I'll trim off every excess like that. So I'll open this up. You guys can see how I draw our knicker. I'm going to put it on my chest so you can see how beautiful it is. See, you see it? It's very simple and easy. See the two pockets, looking nice and neat. And you see the waist, everything is perfect. So the next thing is, let's do the back. So for the back, I'm going to add my dart for the back piece together. So if you have any questions, you can ask your questions. If you have any requests, any beginners friendly request to make for our live stream, you can actually do that. So I'm adding the dart right now. To the back piece, like I said. I stitch the wrong side of my dart, so I need to open that up. It's like most of my beginners, like people already know how to sew this, to do this, to sew knicker. So I can see that most people are not watching, so that means most people already know how to do this. So next time I will choose another tutorial that most people would want to watch. Okay, so I'm going to have added that. So the next thing, I'm going to join them on the crotch area. So I'm joining it on the crotch area. So after joining the back crotch, so you can see how our short looks like. It looks fine. Okay, so the next thing, we're going to join the back and the front together. So that's just like the last thing to do. So the first thing I'm going to do, so I'm trying to open all of them together. So the first thing, I'm going to join the side together. So use your waist measurement and then join the side together like this. I really don't want this. So the next thing, I'll join the other side also, so you can see. So for the zip, I'm going to add a zip on the side of this. So because I have allowance at the side, so the zip is going to be on the side. So if you want your zip to be at the front, at the back, you can actually use your allowance from the back to do that. Okay. I need to open that up. I need to readjust it again. So I was almost taking out the whole allowance for my back piece. Okay. So I'm trying to readjust it properly. Okay, so nice. It's well adjusted now. Okay. So the next thing, I'm going to adjust them. So this is where most times you see people telling me like, I made my trouser, I made my knicker. The thing is not the same. Yes, it is not the same. You are the one that will adjust it together, let it be the same. Okay, so you bring the front one to the back, place them together like this, make sure that both of them are touching, and then you start stitching. So I'm going to stitch the other side. So you can see they are not equal, but just adjust it, just ignore the excess on the side and just stitch. So I'm going to open this up now and let's see what we have. So I'm going to turn off my machine. So I want to iron this. So after that, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to trim my trouser to make it equal. My knicker, whatever. I'm just trying to make sure that it is straight, because I noticed it was not straight. And then I'm going to open up and check. Let's see what we have. So at the end of the day, you can see what we have. So I need to readjust my camera. So for the waistband, I'm not going to be adding the waistband. So you can just add your waistband. So you can add your waistband however, or if it's elastic you want to add, you just make the waistline, make it excess, and then add it. So I'm going to show you. So I'm trying to show you so you can see what we have. You see how our knicker looks like. You see the pocket. See the back. You see it. That is a very simple and easy process to do this. So guys, thank you so much. Good evening, Franca. You're welcome. So thank you so much for joining in, for tuning into today's live stream. Thank you so much. I'll see you in my next live stream. So if you have any questions, please drop your questions on the comment section. Thank you so much. Thanks for everyone that tuned in. Bye bye from me. So you can see where I'm sweating, very sweating.